right, let's get started.
Hey, Greg. Sean, obviously you guys had a lot of opportunities in the second half, just couldn't connect. What do you think wasn't working in the box?
I wouldn't say things weren't working. If we didn't create chances like we did, I think then it's a little worrisome. But we created some really good chances, and it's just that little extra touch. So I think it can be frustrating to not score, but to still create the chances we created, I think is a good sign.
You took a hard hit to your knee during the game. I just want to ask, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah.
And obviously, the defense was able to hold Miami to just one shot in the second half. Just what do you take away from that?
Yeah, I think when we had the ball, we organized it pretty well. If the ball went up the right side, pulling Chubb in and having us two back to kind of have their two guys to kind of to front them and defend them on the counter. So I think we kind of defended well while we attacked.
I know that you obviously lost, but Wilfried said you thought it was a good performance. You played well, just didn't execute. I guess looking big picture, how do you feel about this match and just the way the team's progressing?
Yeah, like Wilfried said, it was a good performance, and it's a good sign. We don't score, but we create good chances, like I said, and just how we've done so far throughout the season. It's our first loss, so it's a little bump in the road, but it's how can we respond to that, and looking forward to next week.
Obviously, a big week of anticipation for you getting to play at home. How did the experience, result aside, how did the experience play out for you in front of 60,000?
Yeah, I thought the traveling crew fans coming from Columbus were phenomenal. Obviously, it's a lot for them to come up here and just go to show how dedicated they are and how much they support us. I'm really grateful for that. There's been all of this talk, but we're glad that they were able to be here and support us. And, it went a long way. It kept us pushing, kept us fighting for these opportunities to create these chances late in the game that we had. Albeit we didn't score, but they definitely gave us the extra energy to keep going.
And for you personally, just now that you got to experience the event, playing at home in the stadium,
it's a real moment for me. Being a little kid in the stands with my parents, my grandparents, and now fast forward 15 plus years, and I'm on the field playing, kind of somewhat in my hometown, I would like to say, in front of my family and friends, and in front of all the crew supporters. So it means so much to me. Obviously, would have liked the result to be different, but albeit it was a great surreal moment for me.
What was the atmosphere like? Did it feel like a crew game? Did it feel like a mix of kind of like, not a Super Bowl, but like you just have two different fan bases kind of going back and forth?
Yeah, I think that's kind of to be expected. You have 60,000 fans, so it's going to be a little bit kind of back and forth. But I thought the crew fans were phenomenal, and you could hear them, and we fed off of that energy.
Let's take two more for Sean.
How hard, we see Messi up there, and Messi's always scanning, always think one step ahead, and always going through your area. How tough it is to defend against Messi? What can you do to limit it?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You see he pops up in these little half spaces, and once he turns and starts running at you, you never know what he's going to pull off. So in the game, it's trying to limit those opportunities for him to turn it and run at the back line, to pick those passes that he's so great at doing. And I thought we did well at that. He had some moments here and there to do that, but I thought we limited his ability to pick those passes.
And the game started off pretty physical. You guys were racking up a lot of fouls towards the beginning. Can you just speak on how you thought you and your teammates responded to that physical nature of the game? Yeah,
I think the first half we were a little tentative, didn't really know what to expect in terms of physicality, I want to say. But I think the response in the second half was really good, going through tackles, getting into duels. And I think that led to us keep pushing, and you saw the momentum obviously continue to switch in our favor and to keep going and pushing towards their goal and creating chances.
Thank you, Sean. Max will be right in.